There is another club created amongst these clubs, like, you know, you have the elite meeting various levels, and they have created this Bilderberg group in order to have meetings and discuss the balance of powers in the various continents and in the various countries, always connected with the economics, connected with the money, connected with the various deals they're doing, military and also political.
It connects to Freemasonry through that, right?
Sure, but the majority of people have membership in all these various societies because they all lead one to the other. So the participation to a lodge of Freemasons might not mean anything, but the fact that you are a member of the specific lodge, which is a particular lodge, and the membership which is restricted probably and very elitarian of certain lodges, and also certain secret societies and other appendant bodies of Freemasonry, how they're called. Once you get initiated into the high degrees of Freemasonry, you have the appendant bodies, which are other societies with other degrees and other traditions. But everything is on top in the West, controlled by the true and invisible order of the Rose Cross, the Rosicrucians, who are said to be the true Illuminati, and also are part of the Marturiile, who is another group of initiates which has control over Freemasonry. And the Martins, for example, at the superior incognito level, at the 4th degree, they get to meet with members of the clergy of the Vatican and have close contact with other religious figures, especially amongst Christianity.
Does the Illuminati have some kind of leader?
I would say that one of the most powerful people is the father of George Bush, George H. Bush. Father is one of the most important figures. He's not only known in the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, but also in the Skull and Bones, in the Illuminati. He's been head of the CIA for many years. He was in charge of people like Clinton. Clinton is itself controlled by the Bushes and by the CIA, and that's why Hillary Clinton is just another puppet slave of this new world order.
Okay.
And she's an Illuminist, and she's a member of the Illuminati. Actually, Giuliano Di Bernardo confirmed this recently.
That reminds me, how about how are women, viewed in these circles of the Illuminati and in the Freemasons?
Well, you see, they are viewed as second-class citizens always because these secret societies have always at the top a male chauvinist way of seeing things.
So could this be the reason for lower wages for women and the unequal position of women to this day in society in general?
Obviously, regular Freemasonry doesn't accept women. And you have then Masonry open to women. You have also Le Droit to Men, that actually has a head who is a Finnish guy, I think, up until recently. And the Droit to Men, for example, mixes women with men, but because there is the necessity for men to control these women, especially the most clever one, and give them and put them in these lobbies of Illuminati in some way or another. They function also as high priestess. High priestess means to have a specific role within a temple, like the Skull and Bones in the University. And to be the high priestess means to be serving also sexually these people for their own sexual magic. You can notice the sexual magic part very openly also in the Mass of Aleister Crowley, the Gnostic Mass of Aleister Crowley, which features a naked woman on the altar also.
Okay. You mentioned before, we made an interview, that you have seen the Finnish president, was it on the 90s or something, in Masonic circles. Do you remember this?
No, I always had the contacts with the Finnish representatives from various lodges in Finland. The Grand Lodge of Finland is very close to the English Freemasons and works very closely with the United Grand Lodge of England. And so they have a way they are subordinate to what the Queen decides. In a way, the Queen functions as a trade union between the Vatican and the rest of these knighthood orders and Freemasonry. She is in control of them all.
Could you tell us a little bit about Opus Dei?
Opus Dei, my personal experience has been quite interesting because I used to have my meetings for the Illuminati in the headquarters of the Opus Dei in Bologna, at Villa Leona. And Carlo Maria Baserga of the Opus Dei is the owner of this place. He wasn't really afraid of showing his true side to us because we were the naughty boys, no? Because these meetings between Satanists and Luciferians were taking place inside the headquarters of the Opus Dei. This is quite an interesting fact on its own, I think. Opus Dei, it's nowadays more powerful than Freemasonry, especially in Italy. A lot of Freemasons have double membership in both the Opus Dei and Freemasonry. They have this new thing now in Italy, that is to join the Opus Dei is a good business because there's a lot of business people, you can make good money. And obviously the Opus Dei is a bit like a white masonry coming out of the Vatican and taking control over. It's been established by the Jesuits. The Jesuits are the minds behind the Opus Dei. That's why the Opus Dei is so successful.
Would you say that, like Licio Gelli said, that the Opus Dei now is more powerful than the Freemasons? Is this like a change of paradigm in the?
Yes, I would definitely agree with Licio Gelli in that. In fact, what we were trying to create in our committee of Monte Carlo was to have a good balance between the Opus Dei members and the other members of Freemasonry and other secret societies, because they seem to have a particular influence these days, so a lot of people want to be associated with them, mostly for business.
You've started to reveal these things due to your conversion to Islam. Could you tell something about that?
Yes, in October 2003, when I started to rebel against the Ordo Templi Orientis Illuminati, and me and Paul Butrusgali, Paul Bralovic, who is this son-in-law of Rauf Butrusgali, is basically connected to this big family, the Butrusgali, which we were cooperating for this event in 2004 in Egypt. And when I went down to Egypt to visit them in November 2003, I converted to Islam after I met a Sufi mystic called Dr. Safwat, who is also known for having exorcised the United Nations building. And I followed Dr. Safwat, who I discovered to be a student of Said Nursi. And when I was in Egypt, I also made a prayer. I wanted to meet the woman of my life, and I prayed that I find a Muslim woman. And in fact, when I came back to Norway, I found what is now my wife, Fatma Suslo, and she's also a student of Letters of Illumination of Said Nursi, which is this important Anatolian Muslim thinker who is also preaching for moderate Muslims all over the world at this time, and now his follower, who is his disciple and devoted man throughout the world, is Fethullah Gulen, which is this movement. This guy who has this movement all over the world, counts about 2 million members. And but by pure It's not obviously coincidence, because the Illuminati, people like me, don't believe in coincidence. So if we make a prayer in front of the pyramids, that prayer is bound to happen, and that's what happened with me finding my wife, and finding also in the faith of Islam the answer to the real nature of Jesus. Jesus the man, and not the God as it was implemented in the Council of Nicaea in the year 325 after Christ, by this council of mafiosi, of crooks held by the Emperor Constantine, who ended up burning also lots of the Gospels that were not accepted by them. So my conversion to Islam brought me to the knowledge of the Sufi mysticism, and people like Jalaluddin Rumi, who spent his life for 800